What's going on, everyone? Welcome to today's video. The subject of today's video is going to be my new Austin Racing GP3 Cat Delete exhaust. So I'm going to be removing this factory exhaust off the bike. I'll probably do some time-lapse videos of me taking this exhaust off and putting this one on, and just kind of walk you through the process of what needs to be done. So let's check it out. All right, there we go. We got that stock exhaust out of there. I can't remember how much this thing weighs, but it weighs a ton. I mean, look at the size difference. Obviously, the new exhaust is on the shorter side, and it's going to be a lot louder, but we're going to save a ton of weight with this, and then also getting these cables and the servo motor out of there. The only thing I was struggling with getting this out was getting the O2 sensor unthreaded. I did see online there was a trick where you could follow the wire up and then pull it out and unplug it from the connector, but I couldn't get it to come out for some reason. So I got the other O2 sensor out. That one kind of came out no problem, but this one I was unthreading it and it was coiling up and getting kind of tight, so I didn't want to risk it. So I unbolted everything, slid the exhaust back, and then pushed it up, and that gave me enough slack to keep unthreading and get that O2 sensor out of there. I think everything's okay. It looks okay, so we should be good. But anyways, let's get the new exhaust thrown on. Got the new exhaust installed. I went ahead and wiped down the whole exhaust with some contact cleaner to get my greasy fingerprints off of it. But now I'm gonna try to fire the bike up and see if it runs. From what I understand, once you take off that factory exhaust, these bikes run super lean from the factory, so they hardly get enough fuel at idle. Which is why I'm actually going to be sending the ECU off to get reflashed. But let's see if it fires up. So the bike fired up and idled just fine. The issue is when you go to put it into gear and go to ride it, you can just tell it's not running correctly. So right now, I'm gonna focus on getting this ECU out of here and shipping it off to get reflashed. All right, we got the ECU out of there. It's pretty easy to get this off. So you do have to pop this top panel off, and then there's one bolt hiding underneath there. There was one other tiny one, this guy hiding right under there, and then this one in the back, and then you basically just pop it and then slide it backwards. And then it's pretty easy to get the ECU out. There is this retainer clip on the back side that you have to pull out. But yeah, got it out. And then from what I understand, as soon as you unplug this, even if you plug it back in, the bike's gonna have a check engine light. So it's too late to turn back now. I'm gonna get this shipped out. All right, check it out. So I shipped this ECU out on Monday and it is now Wednesday, so super quick turnaround. I went with more Mafia to do the ECU reflash. I've watched quite a bit of Chris Moore's videos on YouTube and he seems like a super knowledgeable guy. So I decided to go with him. And as you can see, I did have to pick up this and this adapter as well, because like I mentioned, once you unplug this ECU from the bike, it will throw a code and it will not go away just by riding around. You have to manually clear it. Another thing, I was super worried about damaging those O2 sensors earlier in the video, but as you can see, they're actually disabled, or you're supposed to disable them. That's the first step, is you actually have to unplug them. So I'm gonna work on getting those unplugged, and then while I'm in here, I'm gonna remove this exhaust servo back here as well. I'm probably not gonna do any more time lapses. I'm just gonna get this thing tore apart and give you updates as we go. Here's that servo motor, and then the two cables I was talking about that sit right back in there. It was pretty easy to unplug. It was just one bolt that was holding it in, and then you have to unscrew this cap here to get these cables out, and then you just pull the cables out through the bottom. The O2 sensors were actually pretty easy. I went back and watched one of Chris Moore's videos when he was dyno tuning an R1. So this one sits up in here like so. So you can't actually pull the connector all the way out to unplug it, but what you do, you get it close. So it's about right there, somewhere in there. And then basically there's a little tab on the plug. You just stick the screwdriver in between and then you pull the plug and it comes right out. No problem. And then with this Austin Racing exhaust, so it comes with a port for the O2 sensors, but then it also comes basically with these two right here. So normally your O2 sensor would screw into this insert right here, like so. And it gives you the option to basically cap it off. I already put the other one in on the other side, but yeah, you basically just cap that off and put that in. So I have to install this one here. And then once I get that on, there's basically a sequence of instructions of turning the key on, turning it off, starting the bike, turning it off, and then you should be good to go. But then I have to clear that code. So here's that plug that is needed for that scanner over there to clear that code. So I'm gonna bolt this all back together and then fire it up and clear that code. So I just turned the bike on for 10 seconds and then shut it off for 10 seconds. And now I'm gonna start it up just like the instructions say. So when the bike is running, it does have that check engine light on right there. So I got the scanner hooked up. So I assume it's just under erase codes. Are you sure? Yes. So I clicked erase codes on the scanner, and as you can see, the check engine light has now gone away. All right, just got back from a quick ride. It's getting pretty late here, but the bike runs great. It's everything I wanted, everything I expected. No issues whatsoever. I think my neighbors hate me because the bike is very, very loud now. In the future, I should probably invest in a GoPro so I could get some riding footage maybe, so you could hear the sound a little bit better, you know, when I'm riding it. But anyways, I think that's probably going to do it for today's video. So if you made it this far in the video, I'd just like to say thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one.